Hello, Internet. I think I'm here. I think you're there. I think we're here. Here we are. Here we are, I think. Let me know if you can't hear me. We are in Anaheim, California at the Pins and Pirates Rally, and this camera is not picking up the flippers right now. All right, between games, I'll go check that out. We are at the 2024 Pins and Pirates Pinball Rally, and we're going to be right back. All right, we can see the flippers. And we can see Dave DeFranco playing a little bit of a little pinball here. Ooh, but somehow the rig mic doesn't look like it's on. All right, well, you can't hear it yet, but we're gonna get it going. We're gonna get everything going on here. But yeah, we're playing the Pins and Pirates Rally, this is qualifying, and we're showing off a little bit of our Metallica Remastered. So great new game from Stern, really well made. The best thing they've put out in a long time, in my opinion. It's a lot like the old Metallica, which is a game we've all grown to love. But it's got some new features as well. And I'll tell you, this one shoots like a dream. Super delightful. Flow to the game, and just the shots are just clean as a whistle. It's just so smooth. Feels fantastic. So we're really enjoying it here. We've had it for a couple weeks, and this is Dave DeFranco playing Metallica Remastered as part of the Pins and Pirates Pinball Rally. There's actually 4 simultaneous pinball tournaments going on, and currently qualifying for all of them is open. There's the main tournament where Metallica Remastered is one of 12 games. There's a 90s tournament where there is a 10-game bank of games. There is a Classics tournament where there is a 10-game bank of games. And there's a women's tournament where there's an 8-game bank of games. So tournaments going on as we go forward. We're going to show you a little bit more about what's going on in some of the tournaments. But for now, we're going to start by showing a little bit of Metallica. And while inexperienced Dennis tries to get the rig microphone working. So I'm going to let you go. I'll be right back again, hopefully with some rig mic. Okay, the rig mic was off. I think it's on now. Now you're really That's like a sailor. The tournament comes first. The screen is not being we're just here to observe all the great All right, Internet, we are back with Dave DeFranco struggling on his game of Metallica Remastered. We're going to get the rig microphone working soon, but not during this game. One thing we do not like to do here is interrupt players in their tournament games. Sometimes Jonathan and I stream other things. We don't mind interrupting games, but no, when there's a tournament going on here, the tournament takes absolute priority. But we also get to stream a little bit sometimes. So here we are. And Dave has one ball lit for Coffin Lock, and away he continues here. Unfortunately, he is on ball 3 already and hasn't gotten far off the ground. And a lot of players out there have never played any Metallica at all. So I think I'm going to start with a little bit of an explanation, sprinkling in some ideas of what you might want to do when playing Metallica Remastered, kind of assuming that you have never played any Metallica machine, remastered or otherwise, before. And one of the things that a lot of players, including myself, really like to do is go for Sparky multi-ball, the electric chair multi-ball, and you get that multi-ball by hitting Sparky enough times. He failed to do that. I'm going to go try and fix the rig mic one more time, and we'll be right back with more explanations. We got rig mic now, Internet. We got Dennis. Okay, so among the new features of the new Metallica is there's a lot more songs. There are many more songs that you can play in the background as you play the game. Now, these songs don't affect your gameplay at all, except they affect your mood. And that can affect your gameplay. But a lot of people ask, what do you do when you start out on the game? One of the things you can do, and we saw Dave doing that at the end of his last game, is try and start this Sparky multi-ball by bashing Sparky enough times. And you might say, well, how many times? Well, there's a really amazing upgrade that the Metallica Remastered has that the original Metallica did not have. And that is, it gives you very clear information on the screen about how close you are to various features in the game. And it is so useful. So I'm going to cut away from Dave for a second and look at the screen. Right here, we see this flashing electric switch signal means that he has electric chair multi-ball lit right there. There's other icons here for the other multi-balls that there are to play to tell you how far you are from them. He needs 3 more grave markers to start grave marker multi-ball. I think really 1 more lock to start. I don't know what. He needs some amount more for Coffin multi-ball. And then, so he's on lock 1 for the Coffin. Okay, so this is like saying 10 hits to his next lock. And then Snake multi-ball, he has no snake letters to progress towards Snake multi-ball. But that's one of the great things about this new Metallica Remastered is that the screen is always letting you know how close you are to the various multi-balls. And the fact that this electric switch doesn't have a number on it tells me the same thing that these strobing lights tell me, and they both tell me that Sparky multi-ball is ready. So if he can hit Sparky, he gets multi-ball. Now, he got there by hitting Sparky 12 times, but there's a trick. And the trick is if you hit Sparky in the middle, you get credit for 2 hits instead of just 1. Okay, so that's what's going on with getting the Sparky multi-ball. So he hit Sparky 12 times, although he got credit for 2 hits instead of 1. by hitting the center target, and away he goes into Sparky Multi-Ball. Now, the main idea of Sparky Multi-Ball is enough switch hits will light a jackpot at Sparky. Okay, you get big points. You're getting some points of the shots. The way to get a lot of switch hits is through shooting the orbits. Okay, shooting the orbits gives you switch hits because there are spinners on the orbits. So shooting the orbits will eventually light Sparky for super jackpots, which are worth good points. Now, there's something else critical to know about not just Electric Chair Multi-Ball, but every multi-ball in the game, and it's absolutely crucial, and his multi-ball's over. But if his multi-ball wasn't over, we would have seen that he was very, very close to adding a ball and giving himself 2x scoring for 20 seconds. Now this is just critical element of any Metallica game. Any multi-ball, you can give yourself 2x scoring for 20 seconds and then add a ball. How do you do it, you ask? I will tell you. There are 4 guitar pick stand-ups on the playfield. On the Metallica Remastered, they all have the number 72 written in them. But these 4 stand-ups, yes, they're dangerous, but when you start multi-ball, any multi-ball, a number of them will be flashing. Okay, might be all 4, might be 1, might be 2, might be 3. If you hit every flashing guitar pick, and they turn solid when you hit them, okay, they will all start to flash, but you will know that you finished them all because you saw them flashing and you hit them, and the snake will open. A little hard to see, but there's a snake here. The snake will open its mouth and flash, and when you shoot the ball into the snake, you get 2x playfield for 20 seconds, and it holds the ball. It holds the ball for those 20 seconds, and you get add a ball. Okay, so you get add a ball, 2x playfield for 20 seconds, and it holds the ball, so you're playing with, fewer balls bouncing around than you would otherwise. And it is really a key feature when you play any game of Metallica. Finish off those guitar picks, open that snake mouth by doing so, shoot in the snake, get yourself 2x playfield for 20 seconds. So this is a huge deal. Okay, so what else is going on in the game? A really important element of the game is also what I consider the second multi-ball in the game, although sometimes I play it first, and that is Grave Marker Multi-Ball. Now, if we look at the upper playfield, this is a sequence of 3 inline drop targets. 3 inline... 3, that's not what I meant. I'm trying to get it big and red. 3 inline drop targets. 1, 2, 3 inline drop targets, and behind that there's this cross that lowers and comes up and down. And if you get enough grave marker targets and hit the grave marker cross behind it, you start Grave Marker Multi-Ball. Now, the beautiful thing about this is that in the new Metallica Remastered, you always know. You can look up here and it will tell you how many grave markers, okay, how many grave markers you need to start your next Grave Marker Multi-Ball. It's a huge boon to the game. Once you're in Grave Marker Multi-Ball, I can't remember all the details. You hit a bunch of shots, and then eventually the grave marker itself lights for a super jackpot. But again, like I said, it's so important in every multi-ball, you'll have some number of these guitar picks flashing. Yeah, some number of these 4 guitar picks will be flashing. If you complete them during Grave Marker Multi-Ball, it opens the snake, okay? And then shooting the snake gives you add a ball and 2x scoring for 20 seconds. So it's super fantastic, and it holds the ball out of the way. So that's another main feature of the game is Grave Marker Multi-Ball. Now, in Metallica Remastered, I've been somewhat inclined to go for Grave Marker first. Why do I say that? Because at any given time, enough grave markers will light you resurrect outlane ball save. So right here you can see the 2 outlanes have little crosses on them and they say resurrect. It's a little hard to see, but they say resurrect. When those are lit, your virtual ball save is on, and if you drain a ball out there, you get a ball kicked back into play, virtual ball save. So enough grave markers, okay, always lights your outlane ball saves. Now, this is set on hard settings, so it's a little more difficult. I think the first one might even be 6 or 7, but on normal settings, I think it's 3 or 4 grave markers light your outlane ball save. But for me, that's a good reason to go ahead and try and get to that grave marker multi-ball earlier rather than later, because I might light an outlane ball save along the way. And I always want outlane ball save. So that's what's going on with that. What else is going on in the game? There's a lot. But those are 2 really important things that everyone has to know. Sparky multi-ball, grave marker multi-ball, outlane ball save at the grave marker, and most importantly, finish the flashing guitar pick, shoot into the snake for 2x playfield for 20 seconds with add a ball during any multi-ball. What else is going on? A lot of other things going on. There is an ordinary skill shot where you're trying to put the ball through the lane at the top, and there's also a super skill shot where you can press and hold the left flipper, plunge the ball all the way around, and then shoot any shot, and it will give you a super skill shot. This game is set difficulty. So if you plunge all the way around, guess what? Bing, it hits the sling, and away it goes. Okay, so it's not easy. For me, I've been soft plunging with the left flipper held to try and get a super skill shot by making any shot. But even that hits the sling sometimes. But there is a super skill shot, and in fact, there are certain super skill shots that you can take that give you extra features. Like I think this gives you a mystery. This gives you, might like 2x playfield scoring right away, which I'll explain in a minute when we get to fuel. And a bunch of other things are possible for the super skill shot. So I always go for the super skill shot myself, and I'm really thankful when I get it. What else is going on in the game? There are 2 other multi-balls, which I don't get to as often, which are Coffin and Snake. And I think I will describe those now. You get to the snake multi-ball by shooting into the snake 5 times, and I think you have to open the snake by bashing the snake's mouth. Okay. Somehow snake is usually not gotten to by a lot of players, but the nice thing is that on the screen right here, the word snake is written in hollow blank letters, and it fills in S-N-A-K-E as you go into the snake, so you know how many more snake hits you really have to get. In addition, there is a coffin multi-ball. Now, the coffin multi-ball, there's like a captive ball behind this giant hammer that we can't really see. And if you hit it enough, it lights lock at that same shot. Basically, your shot will go here, a magnet will grab it, and then the hammer will smash it under the play field. And you'll actually be able to see your locked ball in the coffin down here. And then, again, at any given time, you can look up here and see, hey, how many more bashes of this thing do I have to do before I can get a lock, and it'll tell you. Okay. And then I guess at any time you can see if you have balls locked or not by just looking at the coffin. Do I have none, 1 or 2 locked? You lock 3 balls, you get to coffin multi-ball. Again, just like all the multi-balls, you gotta do your guitar picks and put it in the snake for 2x scoring for 20 seconds. In addition, there's something a little different about coffin multi-ball from the other multi-balls. So during grave marker multi-ball, you're not working towards Sparky. During Sparky, you're not working towards grave marker. But during coffin, you are working towards all your other multi-balls. So that's a little difference about coffin multi-balls, that it actually lets you work towards the other multi-balls in the game while you're in that multi-ball. And let's take a look at Dave DeFranco not giving up. He's not been happy with any of the games he's had yet. Let's watch him have another go and see what he can do. So it looks like he's definitely taking a Sparky first strategy, which is a very legitimate Metallica strategy taken by a lot of players. And as he drains, let me just give a shout out to John Borg. This is a Borg-style in-lane, out-lane, named after John Borg, the designer of the original Metallica and one of the key players in this Metallica Remastered reboot of Metallica. You got 1 in-lane, 1 out-lane and 2 in-lanes. It sure looks like it's going to be safe, and it just never is. So thank you, John Borg. While I'm giving shout-outs, huge shout-out to Raymond Davidson, who was the lead on this project. He just did incredible things. Metallica was already a great game, and he really preserved all the beauty and awesomeness of the original game, intended by the original designers, including late Lyman Sheets and John Borg himself. And then on top of that, he just added a bunch of features, even fixed some, through whatever extremely old bugs. And this game really shines. It really shines. It really pops. It shoots amazing, and the code is awesome. So shout out Raymond Davidson and John Borg especially. Thank you so much for all you've done. And the good news is that Dave has gotten himself into Electric Chair Multi-Ball again. Now you see that 2 of these 72 pick targets are still flashing. Okay. So if he picks up those 2, he can go into the snake, get at a ball, and 20 seconds and 2x play. Now, again, as a reminder, what else is going on? He's building up switch hits. Like any switch hits counts, but of course the orbits with the spinners on each of them is the best way to build up switch hits to light the super jackpots at Spark. Okay, so unfortunately, he is out of the multi-ball. He didn't get the add-a-ball with 2x scoring, but we'll see where he can go from here. Okay, a lot of good things happen at the scoop, including the mystery. The mystery award is lit by completing the in-lane, out-lane lights and the top rollover lanes. So you complete those, get all 6 of those lanes lit, and you're moving them, cycling between all 6 of them with your flippers anytime you're playing. And that lights your mystery. And if you light them, if you complete all 6 over and over and over again before collecting mystery, you can collect a higher level mystery award. So now all the mystery awards have levels. Dave collected a level 1 mystery award, but if he completed those 6 lanes a bunch of times before collecting his mystery, he could have gotten a level 2 mystery award, or again for level 3, or again for level 4. And of course, the higher the level of the mystery award, the more valuable the mystery award you get. So that's something that's going on here. It looks like Dave is just going back to Sparky. And again, Sparky all day is a legitimate Metallica strategy. I'm a big fan of the Gravestone multi-ball as well, Grave Marking multi-ball, but sure enough, the fact that this is strobing tells me Sparky's multi-ball is ready, along with the fact that here, up on the screen, there's no number on the electric switch. There's like this. Yeah, there's a switch like this up on the screen, okay. And when that has a number on it, that's how many more Sparky hits he needs to qualify Sparky multi-ball. There was no number on it. It was flashing. That means he is ready to go into his second Sparky multi-ball. Okay, so again, this time, he only has 1 guitar pick flashing. Okay, now I don't know if he knows this rule or not. He either does or he doesn't. But if he hits this guitar pick, okay, he just did. So now the snake is open. If he puts it in the snake, he's going to get 2x scoring for 20 seconds and add a ball, and it's going to hold the ball out of his way for the entire 20 seconds. So he's still in the original ball save. And again, this add a ball comes with a ball save. Okay, so if you lose any of your balls during the ball save that comes with the add a ball, you get any of those back. So it's really, really valuable. So he really wants to shoot the snake. Didn't get it, so he left a little bit on the table there. He got another Sparky Super Jackpot, and now he's back into single ball play. So some other things that are going on, pretty important features of the game. Fuel. So you see here, he has this, it's hard to read on the screen, but this has 2x scoring lit, and indeed, he hit this fuel, this giant stand-up enough times to light 2x scoring at the piston shot right here. So now, this is going to stay lit until he takes it, I believe. If he shoots the piston, he's going to get 2x scoring for 20 seconds. Now, does that combine with the 2x scoring for 20 seconds that you get when you're in a multi-ball and you finish the guitar picks and you shoot it in the snake's mouth? Yes, it does. Okay, yes, it does. So you can get 4x scoring by getting that 2x in the middle of a multi-ball and building up enough fuel so that you can shoot the piston for 2x scoring. Okay, now that's not what happens, but that's another important feature of the game. I mean, if you have 4x scoring, it's like you're doing whatever you're doing 4 times over. It's huge. So you definitely want to be thinking about your multipliers when you're in this game. I think Dave thinks he's played 3 balls, but he's only played 2. I'm pretty sure that's the situation. Perhaps I will go make fun of him. And Mayumi is there to let him know that he still has the ball left. The games are starting to blur together. He played 2 Sparky multi-balls. He thought maybe I played 3 balls, but he didn't. So sure enough, his 2X is gone now, but his fuel level is shown here on this gauge. It's pretty high, so even though he didn't collect his 20 seconds 2X fuel playfield multiplier on the last ball, it looks like he's not that far from getting it again if he spells fuel enough and then shoots the piston. He didn't do it, okay, but that's it's a better score than he had before. And what you're going to see is that with multipliers and with other things like graveyard multi-ball and a couple of the modes that I'm going to talk about in a minute that we haven't discussed yet, the scores can get a lot bigger. And in general, if you've played the old Metallica, I will say, I think the scores on this are higher, quite a bit higher than on the old Metallica. Looks like Dave is going to give it another run. Let's see what he can do. Actually, while he starts off, I'm going to do a little sound check, see if I can actually hear myself on Twitch. I haven't done a sound check yet. No one in chat has said they either can or cannot hear me, so hopefully you all can. And I'm going to keep babbling into the microphone until I can find out if this thing has sound or not. I can hear the commercials that come up on Twitch. I don't know if I can hear myself or not. I'll be right with you. So you can see he's got one of these grave markers, okay? And it says right here, if I zoomed in, you can see it. He needs 2 more grave markers, and his multi-ball will be qualified back here. Okay, so it's not that hard to get the grave marker, but there are some issues. What are the issues? So one, I'm just going to make a blanket statement. This shot is much easier, no matter which grave mark you're on, in my opinion, as a backhand from the left flipper, okay, instead of a forehand from the right flipper. So it's much easier as a backhand. The shot's easier to succeed at, and whether you miss or fail, the return from the shot is safer. Yeah, we do have sound going. So I'll say that. In addition, and I don't know if this is the only machine, this is the only Metallica Remastered I've ever played. These drops, this one in particular, can experience Bally drop syndrome. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Bally used to make pinball games with drop targets, and sometimes you'd hit them so hard and they would not drop. That is the case with this game. Okay, you can hit this drop right here really hard as a forehand. Okay, and it can go kink and just come right back at you and not drop. It's hilarious when it happens to Gerald. It's okay when it happens to me. And we haven't seen it yet here, but that's another reason not to take the forehand. Because even if you succeed with the shot, the drop could theoretically perform a Bally-style failed drop and come right back at you at 100 miles an hour, leading you to danger and frustration. So anyway, that's what's going on there. Other features in the game, I mentioned a lot of good things happen at the scoop. Right now he has extra ball lit at the scoop. There's a few ways to light extra ball. I can't remember what they are right now because my study for this game has largely been to play, this machine here, and the way we have this here is that extra ball is points. Now, it's not negligible points. It's 2.5 million points. And one of the reasons that's not negligible is because you collect that multi-ball when you have 2x scoring for 20 seconds, you get 5 million instead of 2.5. And if you have 4x scoring and you collect it, that is 10 million. 10 million is a decent chunk. Okay, but that's what's going on here. Tell me about these Bally drops, Darkstar. Hey, Dennis, it's because the springs need to be tightened. It came that way on all Metallicas for some reason. It bricks like crazy. That is fascinating. I will mention that. Now, we're not going to change it during the tournament, and probably not before finals, because we never make any sort of significant adjustments to the game during the qualifying period, except repairing anything that's broken, because we want it to be a level play field, no matter when you started. If you started on day 1, qualifying started yesterday, or if you started today, or even if you start tomorrow. You could start tomorrow. You can come in tomorrow, okay. You can play the women's tournament. You can play the men's tournament. There's time to qualify for both those all day tomorrow, okay. And then finals are on Sunday. And in fact, there's time in the morning. You could come in and you could qualify for 90s because the 90s finals aren't until 6 p.m. tomorrow. So you can come in and give it a shot. Classics, qualifying ends tonight. We're open till midnight. Come on down. Actually, Classics qualifying ends at 11 tonight, unless you're a volunteer. But come check us out if you want to play some pinball this weekend. When Jonathan comes by, I'll put links into the chat for all these wonderful things that you can come check out and see. Let's see if this button works. No, this button doesn't work. It doesn't do anything. I was hoping that button would do something. That button doesn't do anything. Well, I had some buttons that I thought might do something. But instead, let's let Robin come in and see what he can do. I'm going to try and get some buttons going that are going to show you the progress of the various players in the various tournaments. What time does Captains open tomorrow? Good question. It's either 11 or 12, and I'll answer your question in a matter of seconds. Wow, 10 a.m. I had no idea. Captains opens at 10 a.m. tomorrow for qualifying in the 90s and the women's and the open tournaments. A finals for the Classic division. Again, qualifying ends tonight for Classics. A finals for the Classics division starts at 11 a.m. tomorrow. B finals for the Classics division starts at 11:30 tomorrow. And that's what's going on. For the main tournament and the women's tournament, qualifying goes all day tomorrow, all day Saturday, and qualifying for the 90s tournament ends at 5. Okay. And again, I'm going to get some of these links up so you can check these out in the chat. But here is Robin. He did not do much yet on ball 1 or 2. And let's take a look on the machine and see where he's at. So he's still far from Grave Marker multi-ball, far from Electric Chair multi-ball, and far from his next coffin line. Okay, so he's not that close to a multi-ball. Also, when we come back, he got a Mystery Award. When we come back over here, we see he's not very close to Snake multi-ball. He has an S and not much else. But he's got other stuff going on. I haven't yet explained Crank It Up, which I will explain in a little while. And I haven't explained a couple other modes, including 72 Seasons, which he just started. So, a little hard to see here, but there's a number in a yellow square here. And basically, by hitting the guitar pick targets that say 72 on them, uncoincidentally enough, you get into the 72 Seasons mode, where the first part of the mode is you have to get 72 switches. Okay, so this number here, it's up 26 now. This is his 72 Seasons number, where he is building up switches. Once he gets to 72 switches, okay, he will go into phase 2 of 72 Seasons, the collect phase. Okay, now unfortunately he didn't make it, he only made it to 38. But if he had gotten 72 switches, then each of the 4 guitar pick targets would be lit for 1 72 Seasons collect. Okay, but there's risk versus reward here. As he gets more as he gets more switch hits during the 72 Seasons collect phase, okay, those collect values at each of those 4 guitar picks go up. Okay, so if you get them all right away, you don't get really many points. But if you go crazy and go switches, and then hit 4 guitar picks, you only hit each one once, you can get a bigger score from 72 Seasons. My current opinion of 72 Seasons is that it's very low scoring, and that in general, as far as I know, it's not worth considering too carefully. However, you know, if you're in 72 Seasons and, say, Sparky Multi-Ball, I mean, that's pretty good because you want switches for 72 Seasons, but you need switches to get that super jackpot lit for Sparky anyway. Okay, so there's a lot of situations where, you know, switches are good. So if you add the 72 Seasons mode to some other mode that needs a lot of switch hits, those things can blend well together and go. There's also a Crank It Up mode. We haven't talked about any of the Crank It Up modes yet. There's also a Crank It Up mode that is switch hits. I cannot currently remember which one, but you can imagine you could have that 72 seasons running alongside and could help you out. Okay. So maybe it is time to start discussing Crank It Up. And there's some features of this I understand better than others. It's a very unfortunate drain on ball one by Robin. But I mentioned all the stuff here about, hey, here's how far you are from the various multi-balls. Oh, and if he can get back there, grave marker multi-ball is lit. Okay, now the bad news is since he restarted his ball, these drops all came back up. Oh, thank you. Oh, I turned it on. Thank you. Jonathan's the best. He's like so good at all this technical stuff. I'm just like, I'm the lackey here. Yeah, Jonathan's great. This is Jonathan. He's helping run the tournament. He helped set up the tournament. Super fantastic. We're elected to have him. He's our director of streaming operations and gave me the opportunity to stream here tonight. Oh. Nice. Wow. There you go. Fantastic. Really good. Okay. Fantastic. Anyway, Jonathan hooking things up here as he always does. Yeah, but here's Robin. His middle mouse button. Here is Robin, and now he's doing much more. Again, it's a shame that he only needs to shoot the grave back to the grave marker cross one more time to start his multi-ball, but all the drops came back up because that's what happened between balls. So there's actually a Metallica Remastered lesson to be learned here. Maybe it's a general Metallica lesson to be learned. You can see how many grave marker targets you need to get the grave marker multi-ball. But to start grave marker multi-ball, you can't just hit a grave marker target. You have to hit the cross that's behind them all. And at the beginning of every ball, they all pop back up. So it behooves you, if you have some grave marker targets down and you're getting close to being able to start grave marker, go ahead and before your ball drains, keep shooting those grave marker targets and play that grave marker multi-ball. It's good points and it's useful, so you really want to do it. So definitely, if you get a chance to go to grave marker, don't wait till next ball because those darn drop targets are going to come back up and there's nothing you to do. Yes, everything is available to join tonight. We're open until 12 tonight. Qualifying for Classics runs until 11 p.m. tonight. Qualifying for the main and the 90s and the women's last into tomorrow. And all those qualifying are also going on tonight. So yes, come on down. You can join any of the terms you want tonight. Only Classics qualifying ends at 11 p.m. and you can play these other things tomorrow. Jonathan, I wasn't sure if you had any links for the chat about either the Facebook page or the rules or the schedule or the Drains Tournament Man. Okay. Oh, yeah, it's got everything going on there. Oh, yeah, a whole bunch of links there. Check it out, and you can get to anything from there. It's really great setup. While we're here talking about it, I mentioned Drains Tournament Manager. For those of you who don't know what that is, Drains Tournament Manager is an amazing pinball tournament software written by Carl D'Angelo. Thank you so much, Carl. There's so many things in pinball that couldn't happen without Drains Tournament Manager. And hey, shout out to Matchplay too. Matchplay also, amazing software written by Andre someone. What's the last name? Andre's last name for Matchplay? Kostov? Andreas, you're the man. Thank you guys so much for your software. We really appreciate your fine work. Those are both amazing pieces of software, and it's a prize there. So, yeah, we're between games here on Metallica. And I think we're going to take, I'm going to give you a 60-second break, and we'll be right back. Hey, thanks to Jonathan's technical wizardry, we can look at some of the standings here. So yeah, here are the standings in the A division. We have lots of players, and the way it's going to work is qualifying for the main division runs until I think 11 p.m. on Saturday night. That's tomorrow night. Then top 24 players will make it to the A division finals, which will be on Sunday, starting at 11 a.m. And the next 8 will make it to the B division finals, which will be on Sunday, starting at 11:30. However, some people are not allowed to be in the B division. Actually, there's probably some restrictions. There's probably some B restricted players here that don't have it attached to their name, like the top 50 players. Yeah. Hard coded in. Wow. Oh my gosh, so sick. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. I mean, yeah, I can't say enough about Carl D'Angelo and his software. Wow. I mean, this is like way above and beyond. Okay, but just the fact that you're able to hard code that in like that, wow, that is truly amazing. So anyway, yeah, oh, and I'm changing this with the interact button, right? Okay. So here you can see the next 8 will go to B division, but some people are not allowed to be in B division. You can't be in B division if you have won the main tournament B division here in some previous year. Pins and Pirates Rally is an annual event. And you also can't be in the B division if you are ranked top 250 in the world, according to IFPA rank. So anyway, that's how it looks right there, right now. Jonathan's getting us some technical setups. But it's not just the main tournament here. Okay, so the main tournament has 12 machines in it, and players come in, and if you have the highest score among anyone who played during the entire qualifying period on, say, Metallica, then you get 100 points. If you have the second highest score of anyone on Metallica during the qualifying period, you get 94 points. If you have the third highest score, you get 91. Fourth highest one, you get 90, etc. And then in the main, you take your best 7 scores out of the 12 possible, and that's your score, and that determines if you're in finals or not. So, for example, switching to the Classics A division. All right, so there you go. A little announcement by Jonathan here. There are no. With 24. Anyway, the important thing is there's 24. So again, now in Classics, okay, in Classics there's a bunch of different games. Let's go. In Classics, okay, we got these games going. We got Countdown, Frontier, Gorgar, Ice Fever, Jungle Queen, Laser Q, Royal Flush, Super Orbit, Totem, and Wizard. And on each of these games, okay, people put in scores. You know, and like I can click on this here and say, what are some Classics games scores? Like on Countdown, for example, we see Kane has the highest score of 892,000. Kane's my nemesis, by the way. Mayumi second. So Kane gets 100 points for his score on Countdown. Mayumi gets 94, Dustin gets 91, and then 90, 89, 88, etc. down the line. Eventually you see Dennis here. He would get 72 points for Countdown. Okay? Now, what happens though, if we click on, say, Dennis. I'll explain these details in a little while. But you see here, my Countdown score is so low, it's not counting for me. Why doesn't it count? Because, you know, I have the third highest score on Totem, and the fifth highest score on Wizard, and the sixth highest score on Jungle Queen, etc., etc., and it's only my best 6, okay, out of the 10 games in the Classic Bank that count, okay. It's only the best 6 out of 10 that count, so that's what's going on there. So my total score in Classics is 513. And what does that mean? That means if I look over here at the Classics standings, okay, I, for example, am here with 513 points because 513 is the sum of my best 6 scores on the 10 games, where I've got 100 for any first I have, 94 for any second, 91 for any third, etc. Okay. Now, leading the way is Scott Macias, okay, with 546 points. Right behind him are Tim and Kane. Okay. And what Jonathan is talking about, either 16 or 24 are going to make it to finals. I have a feeling it's going to be 16. We're just checking the rules. It depends on how many players we get. Okay, so we're not sure yet. It's either 16 or 24 are going to make it to A Division Finals. And then the next 8, if they're not restricted, will make it to the B Division. Okay, so that's what's going on right there. So until 11 p.m. tonight, people will be fighting for position. And then from 11 to 12 tonight, we actually have a special time period where only the volunteers can play in Classics from 11 to 12. That gives them a chance to qualify if they want to. Okay, so that's what's going on. You know, some people could jump up here. Some people could jump up. Carl could jump up. You know, Corey could jump up. Depends on how many games they have. But that's what's going on in all these tournaments. So let's go back here. No one's playing at the moment. So we can, oh, I wonder if I can. That button work? Oh, that button worked. Okay. So that's what's going on. And there's all these tournaments. Okay, there's all these tournaments. So again, going back to the A division, we see all these players. And they're playing all these games. In the A division, it's the best 7 games out of the 12-game bank. Let me switch now to the 90s division. In the 90s division, it's the best 6 games out of the 10 in the bank. Still above the bar. In the classics, it's the best 6 games, and in the women's, it is the best 6 games out of the 8-game bank. Now this year, we haven't had a lot of women yet, but a lot of people will probably not start until tomorrow. Because again, qualifying for women's and open are open all day tomorrow. The women's and the main tournament are open all day tomorrow, as well as qualifying for the 90s is open not only until midnight tonight, but also until 5 p.m. tomorrow. So there's still plenty of time to come out and play. Come out if you want. Hey, if you've never been out here, we are here, Captain's Arcade Showroom, 4411 East La Palma in Anaheim, California. Come on out and visit us this weekend for the rally. Let's see if I have a map. Yeah, hey, here we are. Here we are at the Captain's Arcade Showroom, with now featuring Elvis. We're right near the intersection of the 55 and the 91 here in beautiful Anaheim, California, home of Disneyland, or as they like to say at Disneyland, home of the Captain's Arcade Showroom. That's right. That's what they say over there at Disneyland. Okay, so coming back over here, again, we still don't have anyone playing any more Metallica, so we're going to go ahead and finish that discussion a later time. I guess the thing to look at that's really heating up here. Oh, we're not sure. Okay, so he moved this back. Now here we see the cutoff is now here at 16 players for finals and classics, and we've only got 3 hours and 14 more minutes of qualifying, not counting the volunteer time after, for people to try and break this barrier and qualify. So we'll see how many people can do it. I'm hoping to hang on without having to play any more in finals, but we'll see what happens. I can play some more if we want. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. I wonder if oh, you know what? We have a taker. We have Steve Ward, CA, one of the great Southern California players, hopping up on Metallica Remastered. Let's watch how he plays and see if his strategy is any different from the strategies we've seen so far. Based on the fact that he was cradled on the left flipper and he shot Sparky, I'm pretty sure he's going for Sparky multi-ball first. And again, I play a little different, okay? I go for these grave markers and I try and play grave marker multi-ball because I like the value, and enough grave markers gives me the resurrect outlane ball skill. So I favor that first. I'm not going to lie, I favor that first. Do I play Sparky as well? Yes, I do. Okay. And sometimes I play Sparky twice. Sometimes I play Grave Marker twice. Sometimes I play both twice. It's harder to get back to the same multi-ball the second time you play it. But again, for me, he's going Sparky. Sparky's ready, and he's just going to let it rip. Okay. And a lot of people play Sparky all day. Let's look and see which of the pick targets he has flashing that he needs to hit to open the snake's mouth. He's got these two only flashing. Okay, let's see if he knows the rule. There's one of them, okay, by accident. If he hits this, the snake's mouth opens, and he gets to lock a ball. There it is. He did it. He opened the snake. So now if he puts the ball in the snake, he's going to get add a ball and 2x play field for 20 seconds. And that comes with a ball save. Okay, there it is. All scores 2x for 20 seconds. Okay, so if he has something else going on, those scores are doubled as well. He just got the super jackpot at Sparky. Again, he lit the super jackpot by getting enough switches. Yeah, see 70 more. This is the countdown. On screen, it's telling you how many more switches you need to light the super jackpot. And his ball is still in the snake. Okay, and he's still in 2x scoring. Now the ball's out. Okay, so what can he do now? Again, he's just building switches and trying to hit Sparky for these super jackpots. Can he get 2x scoring again? I believe the answer is yes. Now, this is a bit of a shame. He just collected an extra ball, but it was after his 2x scoring ended. Okay, if he had collected that extra ball before the snake kicked out his ball, before his 2x scoring for 20 seconds ended, that would have been 5 million instead of 2.5. Okay, so does that multi-ball double scoring apply to other things like the score you get for this virtual extra ball? Yes, it does. Okay, so that is one of the things that's going on. But anyway, he's out of electric chair. He got some jackpots. And he is going for a grave marker multi-ball. I wonder how many more he needs. Oh, 2. He needs 2 more. He needs 2 more shots back there. Okay, and he's going to be a grave marker multi-ball. Let's see if he can do it. Now that they're all down, the forehand is safer. It's safer now than it was before. Let's see if he takes it. It's clear to me if he did or did not. Looks like he's shooting the ramps. He is in shooting various shots around the playfield, working towards something called a hardwired mode, which is new thanks to Raymond Davidson to Metallica Remastered. I have not played hardwired mode a lot, but for those of you that have played the old Metallica and are looking at this and looking at what some of the differences are, you may notice that there's these circles by every shot. What are these circles here? Some are flashing, some are solid. They're solid if he shot them already, and I filled them in. They're flashing if he hasn't. If you hit all those shots and light them all solid, hardwired mode lights it to scoop. Okay. Now, what do you do in hardwired mode? I'm a little confused about it, but I think it's like hurry ups at those shots again, and like the 5th one is like a super hardwired jackpot. So hardwired is a mode you get by actually shooting all the shots in the game. Again, solid circle, solid circle, solid circle, solid circle, flashing circle. Okay, and then I feel like there's 6 circles, but maybe there's only 5. Yeah, flashing circle. So if he shoots this left orbit, I think he's going to light hardwired here and be able to play the hardwired mode. Now, something else strange is going on. His drops came back up. I don't know why they came back up in the middle of his ball. I'm a little confused about that because he only needed to get back here to start. But part of the little frustration dance that Steve just did is the fact that he knew as soon as his ball drained that all these were definitely coming back up. Okay, so now he started this ball 4 shots away, even though up here the grave marker's flashing, saying, hey, if you get the ball to hit back here, you start multi-ball. That's true, but you got to drop these drop targets to do it. He's got 2 of them down, 1 to go. He has hardwired lit at the scoop because he got all of those shots around the playfield. You see he's post-transferring because he knows the backhand is better. See that? See that? He had the ball cradled on the right, and he said, you know what? Instead of the forehand, I'm going to take the backhand. He did a post-transfer and backhand. Now, is he going to forehand or post-transfer and backhand? Once it's lit, the forehand ain't bad. Okay. But he's going to start hardwired first. I'm sorry, he actually had Crank It Up lit. So we haven't talked about Crank It Up yet. But there's all these different mini wizard modes that you get Crank It Up, and he got it in a way I'll talk about later. Each of the 4 available Crank It Up mode is a little different, and he's also in hardwired. So he started hardwired, which is shooting these various shots around the playfield, and they're on hurry up. So you can see this hardwired value is descending, and then he's also in his Crank It Up mode, which is a single ball mode, which comes with a substantial ball save at the beginning. The ball save is required, and every Crank It Up mode is different and has different tasks for you to achieve. So he is in. This is the amount of time he has left, 6 minutes in the song. And this is how far he's progressed within the Crank It Up mode that he's in. but I blinked for a second and I forgot what crank it up mode he's playing, and therefore I don't know what the objective is. But every crank it up node is different. I think he has to shoot the wildly flashing shot at every stage of the game, although that could theoretically be hardwired happening instead of crank it up and not switch. But you can see now his next hardwired shot was up to like 8 million. Okay, so these hardwired shots, you know, can get pretty valuable. The hardwired mode, in my opinion, as far as I can tell so far, way more valuable than the other new mode, the other 72 seasons mode. Okay, I think 72 seasons, not that valuable. Hardwired, quite a bit more valuable, I think. Okay, he's in Fade to Black, and he has the jackpot lit for 34 million. Now, if he had 2x playfield from, say, Fuel, that could double the scoring of that and double the value to collect. And he hasn't completed enough yet to collect the Crank It Up complete bonus. So once you do enough in your Crank It Up mode, in this case Fade to Black, this will light at the Crank It Up flickering light again. This will light again, and you can collect or keep going your Crank It Up bonus. You can collect your Crank It Up bonus, or you can collect it and keep trying to build it up more at risk of draining it any time. So he still is achieving the Fade to Black stuff he needs to do. He's almost done. He's almost done. We can see here on the progress bar, he's almost done. He's got plenty of time. He's got 4.5 minutes. He needs to do something else to complete Fade to Black to light the Crank It Up collect at the screen, at which point he will jump over 40 million points higher. See, again, he's almost complete. Now that I think about it, I feel like to complete you have to hit...
Oh my god.
In addition to progressing, you have to hit every item once? Maybe someone in the chat knows. Maybe in addition to just achieving the stuff in the mode, you also have to hit a coffin, a Sparky, a Great Marker, and a snake. And maybe his snake is what's still left. Maybe that's why this is pulsing. Maybe snake isn't lit and he needs to hit his snake to light his Crank It Up. When you collect mystery during Crank It Up, it's usually Crank It Up bonus, and he failed. So I'm going to go talk to Steve real quick and see if he knows what he needs to do to finish that off. We'll be right back.
I didn't do great in this, but I did okay. It's going to help me.
You know, luckily at an event like this, you got a room full of experts. And one of them was standing by, Tim Hansen, one of the best players in California, which is saying something because California is a big place and has a lot of great players. And Tim was nice enough to talk to Steve and I, and he reminded me of something I thought I knew, but I wasn't quite sure of. It's actually independent of your progress, okay? You have to hit the 4 major shots to like crank it up for the potential to collect. Again, that's a grave marker, and it's shown here. Shot here. Sparky, shown here if you got it or not. The coffin right here, and the snake. So we can look back at it and see which were lit, but I'm pretty sure it was just the snake that Steve needed. And then crank it up lights here, and then you shoot, and you have the option to collect or try to keep building the value. Like, he had mode progress maxed out, so that was pretty cool. He almost got a huge collect there. Didn't quite pull it off, but it was a heck of an effort. Actually, while I'm here, I'm going to look up these the rules. Oh no, it's not going to be there. So there's not a good rule sheet for Metallica yet, unfortunately. But there is an original Metallica rule sheet, and Raymond Davidson has tried to preserve almost all of the rules from the original game in the current game. So just to check real quick on the rule sheet, Metallica rule sheet at Tilt Forums. So Steve played Fade to Black, and that was switch hits. Switch hits add to the jackpot value, which is collected at a random flashing shot or by collecting enough switch hits. Okay, so he was hitting the random flashing shot to collect jackpots, and switch hits were building. Solidly lit shots score a portion of the jackpot value. Fill the vertical progress bar on the screen through any combination of jackpots and switch hits to score the completion bonus. So now that was a horizontal mode progress thing here for the completion bonus. And then again, if he had hit a grave marker, an electric chair, a coffin, and the snake at any point, and I think all he had left was snake, he would have lit this, or this would have lit for crank it up again, and he could have finished the mode and correct. Okay, so that's what happened. But a good game by Steve, and he almost got 46 million more. Okay. Let's see what Dave can do. Again, he looks like a Sparky all day player. I'd be interested in hearing from the internet and from a lot of other great players. Now that with Metallica Remastered, what do you think is a good strategy? Do you still like Sparky all day, or do you really think you have to diversify and do things like Grave Marker multi-ball? And I don't know, what do you think about the Coffin multi-ball and the Snake multi-ball? I'm not getting to those very often. What do you think about them? I don't know. Going back to talk a little bit more about Crank It Up, because Crank It Up is very important and can be a huge scoring feature in the game. How do you get to Crank It Up? Well, let me tell you. You complete, I think you just started Sparky multi-ball, so we're not going to be able to see it yet, but you complete all of the objectives up here on the screen. Now, I think in this multi-ball, you're not advancing. Oh, no, you are. Yeah, you complete all the objectives that show up in this screen. So to get to Crank It Up, he needs 10 more grave markers, 2 more coffins. I've covered it up so you can't see how many more snakes, and he's completed his electric chairs. Those are done. Now, you might be saying 10 grave markers, that seems like a lot of grave markers to shoot. How is he going to shoot 10 grave markers? Well, there's good news. He doesn't have to, because you get credit for a grave marker if you shoot a grave marker, or if you shoot a shot that has the grave marker lit on that shot. For example, okay, this shot has a grave marker on it. So that means when he shoots this shot, okay, he's getting credit for grave markers. So you can see his grave marker requirement is down to 7. And that's not because he's hit this so many times. No, it's because he's hit, it's down to 5 now. He's hit these other shots that have grave markers lit on them to get grave marker progress. Now, how do you light those shots for grave markers? If I understand correctly, you shoot a shot and then you shoot the grave marker, and that lights that shot for grave marker for the rest of the ball. Similarly, you can shoot a shot, then shoot the coffin. That lights the shot for the coffin for the rest of the ball. You can shoot a shot and then shoot the snake. I think that lights the snake for the rest of the ball, unless hitting the snake lights 3 shots automatically. I'm a little confused about that one. and you can shoot a shot and shoot the electric chair. So basically, that's how you light those other shots around the playfield to give you more in the way of snakes and grave markers. And we can see here now, I'm sorry our graphics covered up when I zoom in, but we can see here, okay, light 2 grave markers. That means 2 more shots are going to be lit with grave markers on the playfield. He needs 3 more grave markers and some number of snakes for Crank It Up. Unfortunately, he's not going to make it. He also, if he had dug all the way back here, he could have got grave marker multi-ball. Looks like he's going to run it again.
All right.
But just to recapitulate, by getting enough, as is written in the middle of the screen here, enough grave markers, enough Sparkies, enough coffins, and enough snakes, you light, Crank It Up at the scoop. You get to pick from 1 of 4 different modes. Each of the 4 modes is different. And then in those modes, you're competing various objectives to build up a Crank It Up jackpot that you can eventually collect by hitting each of the major shots once, grave marker, Sparky, coffin, snake, and then shooting into the snake. When you do that, you also have the option to continue building the value and head back out there. You can Crank It Up, which some people probably do, and some people probably don't. Again, Crank It Up can be a huge scoring feature, and even though it's a single ball mode, it comes with a substantial ball save add. So anyway, when you're out there, play your multi-balls, and along your way, keep your eye on Crank It Up. And if you see yourself getting close to Crank It Up, definitely go for it. Try and play Crank It Up, and that's where a lot of your points are going to come from. That's why Steve's score was more like 100 instead of 50, and you can see if he had collected his Crank It Up award at the end there, just by shooting like 1 snake shot and then scoop, he'd have gotten another 46 million. And again, yeah, those final collects can be increased by like the fuel playfield multiplier, which is something a lot of people try and do. Anytime you have a shot lit for 46 million, you usually want a playfield multiplier if you can get it. So we'll see some expert players doing that as well. Looks to me like Sparky multi-ball is lit for Dave. And away he goes. Again, I don't even know if he knows about the guitar picks, but the first thing I do when I start any multi-ball, I look and see what guitar picks are flashing. This one and this one. This is just, this has to be your step 1. Okay, you have to do this first when you start a multi-ball in Metallica Remastered or Metallica the original. Okay, you just got 1, he's got 1 left. You've got to get those flashing guitar picks and shoot the snake for that. Add a ball, 2x playfield for 20 seconds, fresh ball save, and holds the ball out of the way for 20 seconds. He got it. Okay, so the snake is open. Okay, it is ready for him. Got a bunch of balls here. I don't think these count as stuck balls, but I'm not sure. But here they are down. He needs that snake. Give me some snake, dude. It's much easier from the left flipper than from the right. It's not impossible from the right. Most people don't try the shot from the right. I don't know if that's fair to say. I don't try the shot. He also has 2x scoring lit because he built fuel up enough at the piston target. So he, oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. That's ball save. See, that drain doesn't even count. Okay. Okay, he locked this 2x playfield for 20 seconds, and ball save kicked in, so that drain ball came back as well. So he's got 3 balls in play now. But one of them is hiding in the snake, out of the way for a while. He got a super jackpot at Sparky, which he built up with switches, and it's double. Okay, it's double. Now, he could get, okay, oh, it's all, 20 seconds is short. But he could have jumped to 4x playfield by introducing this, by shooting the piston, okay, and getting the fuel 2x playfield running along with the guitar pick snake 2x playfield from this multiple. That's not what happened. They still got this 2x playfield lit. He can shoot this at any time, and he's going to get 20 seconds of 2x playfield. So that's where he's at. And then you can see he's in 70. The fact that this 72 is flashing means he's in 72 seasons. I'm not sure if he's in the build phase or the collect phase. Oh, and he lit Crank It Up. Okay, these multi-balls will often like Crank It Up for you. Okay, because you're building your snakes, your electric chairs, your grave markers, and your coffins during these multi-balls. He's got Crank It Up lit, so he really wants to scoop. He didn't get it. He was right there. Crank It Up was lit, 2X playfield was lit, this was an opportunity to blow it up. And this is how it goes on Metallica. Okay, you've seen Dave play a few games where he didn't really get off the ground. And it's not the case that he would have had to have a double-length game to double his scores. No. He's right there. He's got Crank It Up lit. He's got that first Wizard Mode lit, and that's a lot of points. And he had 2X playfield lit for 20 seconds at the fuel target. You know, he could have 2X'd during his Crank It Up, or just before his Crank It Up collection, and he would have blown way up. So no, at that point, he did not have to do twice as much to get double his score. No, he had to do a bit more, and his score would have quadrupled. So that's what's going on in Metallica. A lot of blowing it up. A lot of blowing it up. Here's Chris. This is Captain Chris himself, the owner, operator, and proprietor of the Captain's Arcade Showroom and the associated Captain's Auction Warehouse. Here he is, seeing what he can do on Metallica. So, I haven't seen enough yet to figure out a strategy. Collecting a mystery award. Almost everyone goes for Grave Marker or Sparky right away. Are there other things you could do? Yes. You could try and spell Metallica. So shooting the left and or right ramp, spell Metallica letters. For example, let's see if the screen shows a Metallica letter because I shot the right ramp. It doesn't. You actually can't see it in the video, I think. Metallica is being spelled out down here. Okay, so it's not on the screen, and it's not on the play field. It is the back, between, you know, the back, behind Sparky back here, you know, behind Sparky back there is the letters of Metallica being spelled out. Actually, I thought they were spelled here, too. Anyway, shooting ramps spells Metallica, and if you spell Metallica, you get into the Lady Justice mode, which is a mode that involves shooting left and right shots, alternating preferably, for big points. And again, a lot of these modes can be played together. Okay, so you can be in Lady Justice and then bring in your, you know, Grave Marker multi-ball and really get decent points. Speaking of Grave Marker multi-ball, look who has Grave Marker multi-ball lit. Again, this display is so useful. This flashing Grave Marker means boom, that's Grave Marker multi-ball. So Fritz, if you go back and look at this, I'm going to say the same thing I'm saying on the internet. When you have Grave Marker lit, or you're anywhere near having Grave Marker lit to go for multi-ball, take it, because he saw his Grave Marker multi-ball lit, but he's got a hit back here to start it, and there's 3 stand-ups in the way. Okay. So, I mean, it's still lit, but it's not really lit because he's got to dig through all those stand-ups to get it, whereas he had the ball cradled on the left at the end of that last ball. If he had just backhanded, he'd have gone right into Grave Marker. But, as it was, he took a different choice. He took the last hit on Sparky to also light Sparky multi-ball. You cannot play them together, but he took himself into Sparky multi-ball. You can see he's already picked up some of his flashing guitar pick targets with little 72s on them. He needs 2 more. He needs 2 more. He needs 1 more. He needs 1 more to open the snake and get himself that 2X scoring. And there it is. So snake is open. Shoot the snake. Shoot the snake. It's gonna stay open until he creates under 1 ball. You can see him trying to shoot the snake there. Hit that snake. Okay, so he collected the Sparky Super Jackpot, which is fine. But I would have suggested he get the snake to give himself 2X playfield to add a ball in fresh ball field first. There it is. Okay, so he got it. That drain ball doesn't drain. It comes back. Okay, because he shot the snake. So now he has 3 balls in play, but 1 is held out of the way in the snake for him while he's in this 2X playfield. I think if you complete the guitar targets while the ball's still in there, you might extend the 2X playfield time, which is here on the screen. It is 2X playfield is over, but he's still on the multi-ball, but unfortunately drained. And now it's like a grace period mini jack. So that was okay. And extra ball is lit. And you can see that, like, in the process of doing all that, he got his resurrect ball save lit. Oh, it's actually both out. He got Resurrect Ball Save lit at both out lanes by hitting enough grave marker targets. So that's why that ball came back. He had Resurrect Ball Save lit. And he's got a lot of, you know, like, so this is what he needs for Crank It Up. A grave marker and 10 snakes. But look at all these snake lights around the playfield. All these shots are lit for snakes. So he doesn't have to actually hit the snake all those times for Crank It Up. He just needs to hit any shot with the snake lit on that shot, which is like every freaking shot. Okay. What hurry up did you just get? Okay, so here's another thing. If you get everything on one shot ready, like your snakes, your electric chairs, your grave markers, and I thought also your coffins, you get everything lit on a shot, that starts a hurry up, which I guess you complete at the hammer, at the captive ball. The hammer and the captive ball are synonymous. And if you complete that hurry up at the captive ball, that actually locks that shot in as being able to award all those awards, the snake, the grave marker, the electric chair, and maybe also the coffin, for the rest of the game. Okay, so now you can see in this ball he hit the snake, and that lit 3 of his shots for snake. Okay, so that's great. But if he collected the hurry up, he would have started this ball with that right orbit lit for all 3, snake and grave marker and electric chair. I'm a little confused about coffin is one of those things or not. It might just be snake, coffin, and electric chair. But anyway, if you get those, it starts to hurry up. You have to finish the captive ball, and you lock in those awards to carry over for the rest of the game. So he was getting close there. Let's see what he does on his next game. Excuse me, his next game. Okay, he shot a snake. I guess shooting snake lights 3 shots around the playfield for snakes. And it advanced him 1 step towards snake multi. You know, it's frustrating in these tournament games when you have a bad ball one. You just got to stick in there, you know. You just got to not worry about it and say to yourself, hey, you know what? A lot of times, most of my score on this game comes from 1 big ball anyway. So even though I got a low score on my first ball, that doesn't mean I'm not going to have one of those giant balls later in the game and still hit, you know, a record, you know, high score, super high score. So hopefully Chris is not daunted here. Good try. Trying to save this ball here. Let's see if this replay works. He sees it going to the in-lane, out-laner. That's really difficult to save because it's a floater, and it just kind of swishes this area. If the ball's coming in, okay, with some pace, and you think you can knock this post or this rail of the machine into the ball, you know, knock the machine to knock that post or that rail into the ball and deflect it out of that area, that's what you try to do. That one, very difficult. Just kind of floated through. I don't know if he had really any opportunity to save. So unfortunately, not great. Balls 1 and 2 for Chris. Looks like he's just going for Sparky. Again, on the screen it tells us he needs 2 more hits for Sparky. A shot to the center counts as 2. So that counted as 2. So now he's got Sparky multi-ball lit. There it is, away he goes. Again, you're playing Metallica, you're starting multi-ball. I cannot emphasize enough, look right away at what guitar picks you need to open that snake. Just 1. Sweet, okay? Just this 1. That's all he needs. He can open the snake and really let the good times roll and the scores go up. Close. You got a bally drop there. We were talking about how these drops don't always drop even when you get them. He got it. Snake's open. Snake's open here. Snake's open. He's still in his ball save. This comes with a good ball save. Crank It Up comes with a good ball save. Grave Marker multi-ball comes with a good ball save. Electric Chair multi-ball comes with a good ball save. So even though he lost the ball, he can still shoot that snake for out-of-ball at 2x1. Keep it ball. Here it is. So again, Sparky, I think, is lit for, yeah, a jackpot. How much? 1.6. Okay, obviously doubled. It would have been double. And the other thing here is he has extra ball lit for 2.5 million here again because it's not extra ball. It's 2.5 million. But if he could double the play field, that'd be 5 million. Figured he probably had a couple seconds there to hit the snake, but no. So he didn't get it. I mean, he completed the guitar picks, but he didn't get it. You'll notice how many solid circles Chris has around the play field here. That means one more. Okay, if he goes here, he's going to light his hardwired mode and scoop, which is again like you got to shoot every shot on the play field for like increasing amounts, but they're hurting. They're hurting. I think it's increasing amounts. So he could light his hardwired mode by shooting this if he wants. Again, that resets at the beginning of every ball, I'm pretty sure. Great save there. Did what he needed to do to save that ball. Great job. He hit fuel enough to light 2x playfield at the piston back here. Okay, so if he hits this piston, he's going to get 2x playfield for 20 seconds. You can see him spelling Metallica there. Again, hitting the ramps, left or right ramp, gives you Metallica letters. He's 2 letters away from spelling Metallica, which would take him into Lady Justice. That'd be good. This would be a nice shot right here. Might be going for grave markers instead, which is also a great idea. Yeah, backhand this grave marker. Okay, grave marker multi-ball has been lit, but now he has access to it because he cleared out the grave markers out of the way. Okay, he's got Cat the Ball Hurry Up. Again, I think that's to give him all these awards locked in on the right orbit, I believe. He's now 1 letter away from Metallica because of that mystery award. And he's 1 shot away from grave marker multi-ball. Let's drill it. Boom, there it is. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, this is big. Again, a little bit different rules from Sparky. Now you got to shoot shots. Shoot shots with flickering grave markers, and they turn solid when you shoot them. Or maybe you have to shoot them twice. They flicker fast when you've shot them 0 times, and slow when you've shot them once. Again, substantial ball save, but he really wants to get this last guitar pick. Get this last guitar pick and open the snake for there he did it. Snake's open. Snake's open. Add a ball into X scoring. Snake's open. Almost got it. Okay, he started his blown piston 2x scoring. So if he gets this, he goes to 4x. It's open. Sure, it's open. That snake. Again, he's got 2x. Oh, no. He's got 2x from his fuel 2x. Now, oh, he had resurrect there. So that ball came back. There it is, there it is, there it is. Okay, so now his fuel 2x ran out. So this isn't 4x, it's just 2x, but it's still 2x, and it comes with that ball sink. I mean, that's another huge deal, okay? It's another huge deal, it comes with a ball sink. So he's got to hit a few more grave marker shots. You see, this one's done, it's solid. Oh, it's flickering. Well, he's got to hit a few more grave marker shots around the playfield and then get a super jackpot here. And again, he's in 2x scoring, and he's got another ball on reserve in the snake. Okay, 20 seconds goes fast. Okay, so unfortunately he's out of it, but he got a lot more points out of that multi-ball. Okay, he's up to 65 because he was in 2x play. So that's great. And he got Crank It Up lit in the progress. In the process. He got Crank It Up lit in the process. 72 seasons, doesn't matter too much, but he gets to pick a mode here. What Crank It Up mode does he want to do? So battery is a Sparky mode, okay? You just need to like hit Sparky 12 times. There you go, bash Sparky 12 times to advance to the next stage. Shots increase the Sparky value. Complete items to like crank it up for jackpot. So again, that part is the same for all your Crank It Up modes. And again, thank you Tim Hansen for explaining that to us. I learned it at some point, forgotten. He's got to hit a grave marker, an electric chair, a coffin, and a snake, and then he can end Crank It Up by shooting the scoop and collecting the value that he's built up. But in this battery Crank It Up mode, Jeez, he had 2 Flex playfield lead. He had like in battery mode, he's got a bash spark 12 times. Oh, and he was in Lady Justice. See, I didn't even realize. I mentioned that you spell Metallica by shooting the left ramp and right ramp, which spells Metallica like, I think here. Eventually you get Lady Justice. So he was actually in Lady Justice 2, and I didn't even realize. That might have happened. I don't know if that could happen during his multi-ball or not. It might happen during his multi-ball, but I don't know if you can start in multi-ball or if you have to be outside of multi-ball. But I guarantee you can start outside of multi-ball and you can bring a multi-ball in, and then you're still in Lady Justice in your multi-ball. Okay, and again, with your Laga Ball and Snake, you get 2x scoring on everything. So if you bring Lady Justice into your multi-ball, you're getting 2x scoring not just on your multi-ball, but on Lady Justice as well. So that's why it's so important to look for those guitar picks. But that's a decent score, and we saw there, Chris, the important thing, he used Snake, finished the guitar pick, shot the Snake, got 2x playfield during his multi-ball, and afterwards, he had hit fuel enough that he had 2x playfield lit as a piston, and he got that too. Okay, so that's what you want to be doing when you're playing this game. Since no one is playing right now, let us go back over to the classics. I'm going to click on that. Click on this just to make sure it refreshes. Classic Speed Division, see how we're doing. Dennis is getting close to knocked out. So I might have to leave you at some point and go past some people just to make sure I don't get knocked out of classics during the volunteer hour, which could happen. But that's the funny thing about this format, you know. Click on me as an example. Think about this format, okay. I'm getting, if I look at just my classics games here, I'm down to 508 points. You might say, Dennis, how? You were at 513 points earlier. Well, again, the points I get are by comparing my scores to everyone else's. Okay, so I have the 3rd highest score on Totem, that's 91 points, but people have continued playing these other games. Okay, so I no longer have the, 16th highest score on Frontier. Now I have the 19th highest score, so I lost 3 points there. And I no longer have the whatever highest score I had on Laser Q, so my points have dropped and dropped and dropped. So that's one of the interesting features about this. Until qualifying ends, you really don't know if you're going to make it or not, because not only can people score more than you by getting points for themselves, they can also deplete your points by passing your scores on the various games. So I might take a break at some point and go back and play. But instead, before we do that, let's go ahead and let's watch Dave Green CA play Metallica Remastered and see what he can do. I don't know how well he knows this game. He's played it a little. Let's see what he does. Sparky? I don't know. Grave marker? He lit extra ball already. I'm going to look up, unfortunate drain there. I'm going to look up what lights extra ball here. Again, since extra balls aren't on, it's not like foremost in my mind what lights extra balls. However, they are 2.5 million points, and that's a multipliable 200. There are 2.5 million points. And you can multiply that 2.5 million points. So again, unfortunately online, there's not a great rule sheet yet about Metallica Remastered. At least there wasn't last time I checked yesterday. But there is the original. Rule sheet on Tilt Forums. Looks like maybe shooting the captive ball 10 times. 15 combos? I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'd let that extra ball there. Might have been captive ball hits. Captive ball hits or coffin hits or hammer hits. But anyway, he's in electric chair. Snake not open. Guitar pick flashing. He's got 1 left. You can see the snake's not open because it's not flashing green. Got it. Snake's open. And he got it. Oh, I thought he got it. It almost went in. That doesn't count, by the way. He lost the ball. needs that snake. It is not easy to backhand. Okay? If it was easy to backhand, you probably backhand. It's much easier to hit from the left leg. I mean, that ball came right down the middle, and he had a ball in the flipper, so he thought, hey, I'll try and hit that ball that's coming down with the ball I have in my flipper. That's the right play. That's what you got to do, okay? Again, this ball doesn't always get released down the middle, but when you're in multi-ball and you have a ball cradled, and then you have another ball going down the middle, you do what he tried to do, aerial defense, or what else do they call it? I like, Jonathan calls it aerial defense. I like calling it aerial defense. What you do is if that ball's come down the middle and you got a ball cradled here, you try and hit the ball with the other ball so neither of them goes down the middle. And that's what he tried, but he missed. The ball went down the middle, and then he drained out the side. And, you know, he's doing, again, I bet he runs it again. I bet he runs it. David's best score, none recorded. This is David Green, CA. For those of you who aren't sure which David Green this is. And here's the top score, 400,000, 400 million. Let's see if we get a recording of the score, and then maybe we'll watch a little bit more, and maybe we'll wrap up the stream and come back a little later, perhaps. Hey, Living Arcade, oh no, that was 4 days ago.
Don't worry about it. Are you
I'm not looking at all the alerts here, so sorry if I missed it. You know, I missed this in the chat. I'm sorry, Uncle Steve Reno. I don't know if we answered you or not. Do they have a card with several games to count scores, or are people just doing them one at a time? This is one at a time. Okay, this is one at a time. So it is best game format, but it's not card-based. So it's one game at a time. It's a little different. In-disc is card-based, where you have to do several games at a time. Here is Danny De Gregorio, who I have not met, and I don't know where he's from, but I think he's a good player because he's put up a lot of good scores. Let's see what he can do on Metallica. It's always interesting to see players play, see what they do. You see he pressed and held the left flipper going for a super skill shot. Ball drained during ball save, that's fine. So he's not going to get a super skill shot, and that is really not the end of the world. I do try for the super skill shot, but it's just not that big a deal. That was frustrating and quick drain. Danny just still getting the feel of the game. Okay, so it looks like Danny had a score earlier that was just kind of a warm-up score, and he's trying to replace it. Let's see what he can do. I wonder if he's going for snake multi. I'm not positive, but it looks like from the right flipper, he might be shooting to build up his fuel. Again, you hit this fuel target enough, you get 2x playfield lit at the piston target behind it. These multipliers are very important, so that could easily be what he's doing from the right flipper. A rough game so far. Let's see what he does now. Yeah, he's going for fuel. Yeah, so again, this stand-up, spell fuel, you increase your fuel written on this gauge here, and you like 2x playfield here. Now, you know, someone asked me earlier, like, oh, you know, I got a super low score on blank. And you know what I said? I said, honestly, an incredibly low score in best game format is not a big deal. Because, you know, if you get like a medium score, it doesn't really count for you much anyway. You need, you know, it's best game scoring. So you can play Metallica a bunch of times, only your best score counts. It doesn't matter how bad your worst scores were, only your best score counts. So playing to try and hit home runs is what you're supposed to do in best game, you know, format like this. And that's why doing things like Danny was doing, like shooting for fuel to try and get 2x playfield lit, makes a lot of sense. Another example, we have Pulp Fiction in the main bank here. What do I do when I play Pulp Fiction in this tournament? I go for playfield multiplier right away, just like Danny was doing here, because I'm trying to hit home runs. Now, if I'm playing in the Long Beach Pinball League, and I'm in a 4-player group, and I'm just trying to achieve the highest score within the 4-player group, I am probably not going to go for playfield X at the beginning of every ball because I want to make sure to get a decent score, you know, to get a decent place out of the 4 of us. I'm not just trying to hit home runs. Here, best game format, try and hit home runs. Try and get that playfield multiplier. Try and do everything to the max. And you don't have to feel bad if you get a super low score because you get thrown out anyway. It doesn't matter. All that matters are your really high scores. Okay, so did he just start to exploit field? Or is it not even close? He has extra ball in. A bunch of stuff flashed here that confused me. But I think it was nothing. Okay. I don't know why Dave's not doing better. He's a pretty good player. Okay, he's got Sparky lit. He would only need to get to the back of the grave marker to start graveyard, but look for him to start Sparky multi-ball, see what he can do. I have no idea where the ball is. Okay. Ball save, ball back. He's going to go Sparky. You know, and again, extra balls lit for $2.5 million. If he gets into Sparky, and he gets the add ball 2x playfield, and he collects that extra ball, it's going to be $5 million instead of $2.5. I'm just saying. It's something to think about. Okay, let's look at these guitar picks, Dave. This might be the last one we stream here before we take a break. I'll see if John wants to come in. Okay, he's just got one left flickering. Just one. There it is. He got it. Snake's open. Oh my gosh, he put a ball in the snake already. That is it. So he has 2x playfield, add a ball with new ball save, ball locked. This is $5 million. Oh, and he's got 2x scoring lit here. If he gets this, then goes here, it's $10 million. It's $10 million. I know you want it. Again, he's still in multi-ball because there's a ball held in here. It's got 1 second left. The timer's on the screen, and it's kicking out. Okay. So, 2x playfield is over. But, you got 2x here. Okay. Got 2x here. He loved this. Piston. Okay, he collected the extra ball. He wasn't in 2x playfield. Hey, he still gets the $2.5 million for it. Okay, that ain't bad. It's just not as good as if it was double. He just drained out. Again, just as a reminder, during Sparky, it's switch hits to build up and give you super jackpots at Sparky himself. I don't know why David has no score recorded. Maybe he just figures he's going to play until he does better. It sounds like he's going to run it back. If he does that, we'll watch it again. He can put up a good score.
You keep calling me over before the bonus is done.
24153 430.
Saves and Metallica. All right, you've got one more entry after this.
Thank you. You're always the deliverer of that. That's funny.
I might go pick up a few points in classics after this. I'm surprised we're not seeing more people go for grave markers. I mean, to each their own, but for me, again, I like the multi-ball, and enough grave markers gives you that resurrect outlane ball save. I mean, that's huge. I drain out the outlane sometimes. I love ball save. So for me, I'm going grave marker first. I'm no expert, you know, necessarily here. You know, Sparky is decent, and it's 3-ball. Yeah, for me, I'm going grave marker here. Although, again, like from the right flipper, I'm shooting Sparky. Because I don't like valley drops. I don't like how hard the forehand to the grave marker is. If I hit or miss, it can be a very dangerous return. But I try and get the ball on the left, just like Steve Ward was doing. Try and get the ball on the left, and I try and backhand the thing. Again, he was in 72 seasons. We haven't talked much about that. Again, you get it by hitting guitar picks. You have to hit 72 switches, and then you have to build more. You hit more switches to build up collects at the 4 guitar picks. There's a display here that corresponds to 72 seasons. And you know you're either in the build-up or the collect phase of 72 seasons by this light going on here. Or if it flashes differently for the build-up phase and the collect phase. Wouldn't be surprised if it did, but you see like progress here. they bring clearly going Sparky. No question that's what it is. He's close, just 2 more Sparky hits to go into the Sparky multi. And again, 1 shot to the middle would count as 2.
Oh my God.
Got to try and save it. I mean, he's got to try and save it. What's he going to do here? This ball, that's the problem with Sparky, is the ball can come right down the middle, and it does. And he tries to move the machine enough to get one of the flippers under the ball, and it just did not work out at all. So that didn't work out. He's going to run again. Well, we'll keep streaming him for a little bit. Again, I have until 11, you know, to improve my score. We'll see if Jonathan wants to come in and say anything or what he wants to do. We'll talk to him. Sparky? I don't know what that was. Again, we haven't seen it yet. There's a coffin multi-ball and a snake multi-ball. Snake progress, you got to put the ball in the snake's mouth a bunch of times. It's listed here by the word snake. And then all the other multi-balls, Sparky and Grave Marker and Coffin, what progress you need is here. And the one thing I've learned here is like this Coffin is like how many hits on the Coffin you need to light the next lock at the Coffin. And then how many balls you've locked for Coffin, you see through this little window, which for him is none. Okay, we have not seen a lot of people block balls for Coffin. So there, he just hit the Coffin, so now Coffin lock is lit. That's why that's flashing, okay? So he's going for, I mean, Coffin lock is lit. I'm not sure. That's supposed to grab the ball and knock it under play for him. I'm not sure what happened. I thought he hit it clean enough, but maybe he didn't. Got his extra ball lit. Again, it's not a real extra ball. I think that stays lit, so you don't have much reason to collect it.
Come on.
Now he does. But it's best game format. There's no reason to take $2.5 million. He wants to take, you know, $5 million or $10 million. He just can't get it off the ground. Oh, this is frustrating for him. Sorry about that, David. And, you know, meanwhile, I'm looking at my scores. Well, he might be stepping away for a second, so, you know, I'll just go ahead and I'll even show you what I'm looking at here. So, oh, yeah, this is still me. This is not what I meant to do, but it doesn't matter. Go back and look at Dennis. So you can see here I'm looking at classics because this is what ends tonight. You know, I have 508 points, and I am near the finals cutoff. See, people could pass me. I don't know how many games, I can look it up, like how many games Fran has played in classics. Let's have a look. Whoop, sorry, I'm going crazy. If we look at Fran, okay, Fran's played a bunch of games. You know, I got to be careful that I don't let anyone jump past me. That's the real key thing. So, you know, what do I do to make sure people don't jump past me? Well, I try and jump past other people. So I want to get past Gerald and Jerry if I can. So I can either gain 3 or 4 points, or I can knock them down points as well. Okay, so how do I figure out what to do? What I usually do is I go to me, and not that I know of.
Yeah, you had 13.
You want music? Oh, good. Yeah, I'll let CC handle the music here while we're doing this. Oh, I'm all twisted around here. I'm all tangled. So what I'm going to do, I'm looking at my classic scores, and I'm seeing like, okay, I get to use my best 6 classic scores. And again, the quality of the score is what place you are relative to everyone else. So I want to look at these. Thank you. I want to look at these and say, hey, you know, right now, if I bump up a score, I'll replace this 79 on Frontier. Let me pause for an announcement. Oh, top 24 for classics. So never mind everything I was saying. All right. Yeah, scorekeepers are the best. All the scorekeepers are volunteers. It's really great to have them. So again, now the cutoff line is not here. Not top 24 make it to Classic. Says we have 48 people. So we're going to send top 24. So now I don't have to fight for my life. Now, could I improve my position and why Mai Tai? Well, what if I improve my position a little? Wouldn't matter much. But if I get into the top 8, I get a buy. So now I look and say, oh, okay, I have 508. Could I theoretically pass Brian and Eric with 5, you know, assuming other people are going to try and pass other people as well, with 527, 526. Can I pick up 20 points, okay, net against Eric or Brian? And why do I say 20 points net? I say that because I can either go up by 20 points or knock them down by 20 points or some combination of the two. Okay, because if I improve points on Laser Q, okay, if I, in that process, if I jump up several places, let's say I jump up 5 places, I would gain 5 points. But if in that process I beat Brian's score, his score goes down by 1 point. Boop, it goes down. So then, if I go up 5 places on Laser Q, but that actually involves passing Brian, then I would net 6 points on him. Okay, so how do I decide what to do? I look and I see that I'm not getting many points out of these games, and that if I do really well in one of those games, I could replace the 79. I could jump way up. Okay, and then so I go ahead and I look at the scores of the games, and I say, hey, what are the chances that I could jump up, 20 points? Could I do it on Countdown? Well, right now I'm not counting on Countdown. Could I get like 90 points on Countdown? Could I get a score of 500 on Countdown? I don't think so, but maybe. What about Frontier? Frontier has been having some technical issues that are all resolved now. Could I, jump way up? So here I am with my 79 on Frontier. Could I jump up to 89? Could I get 1.1 million on Frontier? Maybe. Maybe. Might be worth a shot, I might gain 20 points there, or 10 points there. So if I could gain 10 points in 2 spots, okay, in the next couple hours, be all right. What about Ice Fever? I'm not getting any points out of Ice Fever. What would I have to do to jump up to, see, right now, I'm not even counting my Ice Fever score. Could I get up to, 2.6 million? Maybe. Maybe. So maybe Frontier, maybe Ice Fever. What about Jungle Queen? So Jungle Queen, I'm currently scoring. Sorry, I didn't click on the button correctly. Jungle Queen, I'm getting 86. Okay, so, could I jump up here? Maybe, but that wouldn't give me that many points. Could I beat 181? It's not impossible, but it's not that likely. Okay, so it's not easy pickup there. What about Laser Q? Again, Laser Q right now, I'm barely scoring Laser Q. Could I get up here? Could I get 900 on Laser Q? Probably. maybe.
All right, yeah, you had 5.8 before. Where you at
I wouldn't,
now?
I wouldn't bet on it, but it's a possibility.
Yeah, 8, 4, 5,
What about
7,
Royal
5,
Flush? Royal Flush, I'm not even scoring at all. Could I get up here? Could I get 112 on Royal Flush? I don't know. No, I don't know. Super Orbit. Haven't played it much. What can I do on Super Orbit? What would I have to do? Could I get up to 1.5? I have no idea, to be honest with you. I don't know the game very well. What about Totem? I'm already getting a big score here. So you see, oh, sorry, I didn't click on Totem Success. Not sure why these buttons aren't working the way I'm expecting them to. I'm already getting 91. Okay, could I jump up 9 points and beat Tim? Maybe, but it's hard. Not easy pickings. Wizard, well, could I get to 160? Jump up like 15 points on Wizard? It's not impossible. To me, I think the easiest pickings might be trying this Frontier, seeing what I'm actually capable of on Frontier, because I don't really know. I don't know the game very well. Trying Ice Fever. So I might do that, and we'll see if I do or not. See, is anyone playing? No one is playing Metallica. I'm going to let you look at the playfield. I'm going to consult our streaming director, Jonathan, and then we're going to come back, and we might sign off, or we might keep going and doing something else. We'll see what he has to say, and I might play a little bit of Classics myself. So I'm going to put you on hold. I'll be right back, and I'll tell you what's happening in 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, Internet. I've talked with the authorities, and I think we're going to end the stream for the night. So we're going to let you go, and then, come check us out tomorrow. We should start streaming at 11 a.m. Pacific time. That's going to be the Classics Finals. It's going to be very exciting. 24 players are going to make it. It's going to be good. Check us out at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Also tomorrow at 6 p.m. we have 90s Finals, and on Sunday, we have women's and main finals coming as well. What is the standings link? That is a great question. Before we go, I am going to give you the standings link. Oh, I think I can type !rally. Maybe in all caps, maybe not. There it is. There it is. So if you click on that link, it has links from that link to like the Never Drain software. So the tournament is being tracked in Never Drain software. But if you go to that match play link, it'll take you to like the rules and the Never Drains link, and you can check out everything going on there. So check it out. Thank you so much for joining us, Mark. Thank you everyone for joining us. And we will see you tomorrow bright and early at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Thanks so much.